This is some big news that's coming out right now. It looks like Microsoft is going to be buying Activision Blizzard. Activision Blizzard shares have been halted with this news pending that's coming out on this. Right now, you can see Microsoft shares at 301.59. That's down 2.78%. Activision Blizzard jumping all the way to where that deal is anticipated to happen at $90 a share. This is a stock that closed at $65.39 on Friday. A company at that point with a market cap of just over $50 billion, almost $51 billion. This is a big deal, very big deal. You can see Activision Blizzard shares up by 37%, all the way up to $90, as I mentioned. Microsoft shares coming under a little more pressure, although we've seen those shares under pressure because of the higher yields that you've seen in the Treasury complex this morning. 301.55. Still looking for the details of this, but again, it looks like this is news that's just coming out. And just reading you through some of the headlines on this, Bobby Kotick is going to continue to serve as the CEO of Activision Blizzard. Reading through some more news as this is hitting the wires right now. Microsoft's going to be acquiring Activision Blizzard for $95 a share, this says, in an all-cash transaction that's valued at $68.7 billion. So that's a big premium, guys. That's a premium of about 45%. Watching what happens with this, and obviously there's been a lot of news, gentlemen, coming out about Activision Blizzard. Those shares have been down pretty sharply as this news has come out over the last several months. Right. Andrew?
I was going to say the stock down about 27%, in large part because of the controversy that we'd seen in the Wall Street Journal and reports about workplace culture. I would argue to you, Microsoft buying this company at this price is a bit of a rebuff, if you will, about some of those reports, or at least an acceptance that the culture is acceptable to them. Of course, they've had their own challenges just last week saying that they were going to be looking into their own workplace culture. But this does appear to be a big win for Bobby Kotick. Of course, the big question that I'm looking at right now is just whether regulators will ultimately approve a transaction like this, you know, under the sort of traditional antitrust theory between Microsoft and Activision. It's still a very small market share. This is a very fractured marketplace. But you've seen the Biden administration take a much more aggressive approach to antitrust and a much more sort of all-encompassing approach. Meanwhile, Microsoft has remained largely outside of the sort of target of Washington, in large part because it dealt with that, if you will,
a metaverse,
more than 2 decades ago.
Number one, is it a metaverse play? I don't know. Yeah. We're all going to be playing
huge metaverse play. I think, and that's
Satya Nadella has kind of hinted at this. Yeah, Satya Nadella has hinted at this. And by the way, guys, we should mention that we do have interviews coming up with both Bobby Kotick and Phil Spencer, who is the head of Microsoft Gaming. Both those interviews coming up at 9:30 this morning. So an hour from now, we'll be sitting down talking to both of them.
That's excellent.
There you have the news. Activision Blizzard is in the process of being acquired by Microsoft, and this puts a lot of huge IPs under the control of Microsoft and under Phil Spencer, who is the head of gaming at Microsoft. Huge IPs. We're talking about Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk, Spyro, Skylanders, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, Heroes of Storm, Overwatch, Candy Crush, because of course I believe King was acquired by Activision a few years ago, so that is a part of the deal as well. So Microsoft adds a huge array of studios when this deal is finalized into the entirety of the Xbox Game Studios group, which means that Microsoft is gonna effectively has 3 divisions that are under Phil Spencer. You're gonna have the Xbox Game Studios division that is led by Matt Booty, and then you're going to have the Bethesda division led by Todd Howard, and then you're going to have the Activision Blizzard division that is head by what seems to be Bobby Kotick is not going anywhere, which puts into light some things that Phil Spencer said last week when he was interviewed and he was asked about Activision Blizzard. It was notable that Phil Spencer didn't throw any shade at them, but what he did was answered in a very diplomatic way, because of course this deal was in the works. So yes, there you go. Right now Microsoft is in the process of acquiring Activision Blizzard, and the process will be much the same like what happened with Bethesda, meaning it is announced, and then over a period of review and going through certain regulations and different avenues, then it will be finalized probably 7 to 9 months time. If the Bethesda deal is anything to go by, the Bethesda deal was announced in September, and I believe was announced in April or May to be finalized last year, something like that. So it will be much the same with this, but this is a huge deal ranging between 68 to 70 billion dollars. So this is one of the biggest acquisition. I'm not sure if it's the single biggest acquisition in the video games industry, but it is huge, and this is a earth-shaking deal which will see Microsoft essentially become the third biggest company in the video games field. Number 1 is Tencent, number 2 is Sony, and Microsoft will be at their heels in third place and building up fast. So yes, Lanzo86, stick to the channel, like, share, subscribe the video. There is so much more to discuss on this topic, and look forward to getting into it more later. Everybody have a blessed day.